What's up, your boy Phone of the Reaction? In today's video, we have Trust in the Process by Football Iconic. This is about Arsenal. Congratulations to Arsenal, even though most of y'all games was not entertaining. All them damn 1-0 victories, my nigga. If y'all could barely score 3 goals on fucking Burnley, what y'all think y'all gonna do against PSG? Y'all think y'all about to drop 3 goals on PSG? Like, I think y'all about to attack PSG and dominate PSG. Like, let's be for real, gang. You niggas could barely score 2 goals on fucking Crystal Palace. Like,
How big's the job for you at Arsenal?
We still have a massive gap. We have to respect the process. We will get it right. I'm convinced of that, and we need a little bit of time, that's all.
When people look back on the champions of 26, I think history will be very kind to Arsenal. Why wouldn't it? Runners-up for the title 3 seasons in a row, all while building one of the most physically dominant, technically gifted, and likable groups of players in the world, all while revitalizing an extremely loyal fan base that has been very frustrated and very vocal in those frustrations. The third most successful football club in the history of English football, back to winning ways after 22 years. It was inevitable. But you see, this is why lived experience is more powerful than simply hearing the tale. With the way so many have been speaking about Arsenal over the last few years, you would think this was the nastiest, most unlikable group of villains and terrorists to walk the face of the earth. Let me put this into perspective for you. Just last week, we were living in a moment where the internet would have you believe that it was up to Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain to quote-unquote save football. I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but I don't need to be to recognize that that is odd. Arsenal are the champions of England, and with the wind so forcefully on their back, who says they can't expand their domain even further?
we're just gonna have to say, I'm a PSG fan. I don't think these niggas beating PSG, bro.
22 years. 22 years there was laughing, there was joking. They're not laughing anymore. Look, it's going to be shining. Look, it's going to be shining bright.
Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Welcome back. I was really expecting to...
Soccer, boy, slow down. Soccer, slow down, man.
I only have to write this video on Monday, but here we are. I have a confession to make though. I did not trust the process. Or at least, I didn't completely have faith in it. For the majority of the season, I was pretty consistent in saying that I felt Arsenal were going to be champions come the end of it. And then, when that blip that allowed City back into it came, my head began to turn. It's only natural. By the way, I feel this man should lay low for a while. Perhaps fleeing the country is in order. I should have listened. We all should have listened. He was right. I think having seen the way City operated over the years, the Liverpool 98-97 point season, the Gundogan late season clutch jobs, the fact that they always seemed to get the better of whomever they were up against if the title was close, which was more often than not Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool were an astounding football force from 2017 to 2024, one of the scariest teams I've ever watched. However, and since we're talking about legacy here, Klopp's Liverpool will be remembered fondly, but the legacy of this team certainly will not be a fair representation. And that's because they were faced up against the best team in Premier League history. 6 titles in 7 years. The only team to ever win 4 in a row. All the same, the legacy, it will still be strong. For those that watched it happen, they will always remember the year that Liverpool laced up and got the better of this City Guardiola juggernaut. Just as Arsenal have. Whether Guardiola stays or leaves, the fact that
Yeah, Arsenal only won this Premier League title because Man City was choking during the beginning of the season. And they kind of choked. They tied 1-1 against Bournemouth.
Arsenal were able to get the best of City while Guardiola was still in charge is going to do so much. It's going to do so much heavy lifting when it comes to conversations and debates around this Arsenal side for years to come. So I was reading a bunch of articles this morning as all the praise for Arsenal.
Respectfully, this gonna be probably one of the most forgotten Premier League titles. I'm sorry, nigga. I forgot Liverpool won the Premier League last year. Like, do anybody remember Liverpool winning the title last year? Remember a Liverpool game from last year? Like,
Arsenal began
so you, I'm a casual, bro. You a casual. Like, I don't care.
to flood in from all the different bigger outlets.
Like, you think nigga about to go back and watch all them 1-0 games Arsenal had?
And one article in particular from The Athletic, it was quite interesting because it went into a lot of detail about how Arsenal and Arteta meticulously planned how they built the squad, the personalities they were looking for, the opponents that stood in their way, the elements that stood in their way. I'll link it in the description.
Now that Pep gone and Man City got a new manager, who do y'all think win the Premier League next year? The Man City still got a good squad. They can still win it, but I don't know. They got a new manager. We gotta see if that work. Like, Manchester United looked nice, bro. They third place, fourth place, I think. I don't know. Y'all think Arsenal could go back to back? They still got Arteta. You know what I'm saying?
I believe it's free to read, and obviously this is not sponsored. But what was so intriguing to me was that they claimed that Arsenal's internal planning revolved around a so-called winning window, the period in which Liverpool and Manchester City mainly, but also any other team that could challenge them, would be either depleted from sustained battle or in the throes of a deep rebuild. This period, supposedly, is between 2023 and 2027. It looks like they were bang on the money with that one. Even more so because, honestly, this title, it should have come sooner. I remember making a video on the process years ago in the 2022-23 football season. That year, Arsenal were, quite ironically, playing a brand of football that so many people claim that they are incapable of today. Quick transitions, ruthless aggression, beautiful football. But they lost the title to Manchester City by 5 points by the end of it, despite being 8 points clear by match day 29. And the beginning of their demise can be tracked back to a game versus Liverpool on match day 30. Arsenal were 2 goals up within 28 minutes, only to collapse to a 2-2 draw. They only won 3 of their last 9 games as the pressure of it all was clearly too much and they did not know how to close games at all. From the next year onwards, we saw a steep rise in pragmatism, or what the youth call terrorism, as well as a
Bro, they do soccer fans while calling niggas dictators, terrorists.
steep rise in camera time for Mikel Arteta's support staff. More specifically, this man, Nicolas Jova, Arsenal's set-piece coach. The man reportedly has it in his contract that he gets a bonus for every set-piece goal that Arsenal scores. And he's been very hard at work to get that bonus because Arsenal scored 20 set pieces that very next year, which was aided by a noticeably bigger signing policy. Across 2023 and 2024, Arsenal purchased Declan Rice, Ricardo Calafiori, Jurriën Timber, Mikel Merino, Kai Havertz. And who can forget David Raya, 3-time Golden Glove winner for a reason. If you could somehow manage to get your way past Arsenal's defense, this guy was waiting for you. This time, now in 23-24, they got even closer. Only 2 points from Manchester City. The year after that, they fell some way behind Liverpool, largely due to injury, but were still second. And then this year, 25-26, they made all their depth insurmountable and put everything else into practice. The pragmatism and nastiness with the big men, reinforced by Victor Gyökeres and Pierre Hincapié, the ability to turn on the style and overwhelm the opposition with smooth operators, aided by incoming Eberechi Eze, Martin Zubimendi, Noni Madueke.
Like, yeah, all these niggas just score 1 goal and park the bus, like, just play defense, like. That's what them niggas gonna try to do against us, PSG. Niggas gonna try to score off a corner kick or some shit and just gonna park the bus.
Who evidently made an excellent choice in leaving Chelsea when he did. All of this is to say that if Arsenal played like they did in 22-23, they would not have won this title. They would have lost it a long time ago, most likely. They have not conceded a goal in their last 4 games, 3 of which have been 1-0 wins. All of which have been against bottom half teams. I mentioned the league positions of those teams on purpose. You might think that I'm saying that those games were easier because of it. And maybe they were, but that's not the point. I watched those games, all of them, from start to finish. They could have scored more. They could have padded their goal difference. Some would have thought that would...
That's crazy. Tottenham was about to get relegated. That's crazy as fuck. Them niggas survived, luckily, but damn, them niggas was about to get relegated. Them niggas is trash. Shit.
Be the smart thing to do, considering that Man City looked to be in control because of it at one point. But nope. Arsenal has scored 69 goals so far in the league. In 22-23 and 23-24, they scored 88 and 91. So ask yourself, was Arteta correct to change his priorities? Also, by the way, in the last 10 years, only one Premier League champion has scored less than 83 goals in a league campaign. Leicester City. Of course, none of these stats are finalized. There is still one more game left to play in the Premier League. Arsenal could wants to end this with a real bang and blow those goal-scoring stats out the water. Or they could be hungover in their final match against Crystal Palace and tank their goals conceded stat. But I hope you guys know where I'm coming from with all this. Because I'm not an Arsenal supporter and purely just want to be entertained, I'm one of those people that gets annoyed at the time-wasting tactics, at the corner routines.
Yeah, like, bro, them niggas won this championship boring as fuck.
The play acting by Gabriel, for example, the anti-football. But it's all by design. I remember the Manchester United game, the very first game of the season, and my blood was boiling throughout that entire game. Corner goal, time wasting, less possession, less chances, second best on the day by most metrics, 3 points nonetheless. Frustrating? Yes. Rules broken? No. And that's the trend. And if opposing fans feel that way, just imagine how opposing players feel. And I think this also does quite well to explain why Arsenal seems to never switch their style too drastically, regardless of the match situation. Many will recall times where Arsenal were losing, but still seemingly time-wasting, or employing that pragmatism that we speak about. These are signs of a deeply ingrained system. We win and we lose the same way. But in the end, we win. Arteta played all of us like a fiddle, and on Sunday he's going to be standing front and center with a shiny Premier League trophy and that magnificently coiffed hair. The first manager with more than one strand of hair to win the Premier League in 6 years, by the way. You'll never sing that. And because I feel like we have to mention this, referees haven't been stellar this year. I'm thinking back to a Havertz tackle from just the other night against Burnley. It even went to VAR where the decision was yellow. Interesting. I know I said Arsenal don't break the rules just now, and I maintain that, because you can't put this on them.
And them fucking Arsenal fans, you bring this shit. Them Arsenal fans always say, especially if a Man City fan say some 115 charges. Yeah, Man City ain't get charged or penalized for this shit. 115 charges.
We can moan all we want, but referees have been consistently bad this year for everybody. I think every team has both been
Premier League, Champions League, they've been bad.
punished and benefited. Even your team. Your team is definitely included, whoever you support. So much so that I think this is kind of like a non-issue. We need better officiating. Don't hate the player, hate the game, I guess. Going back to the Athletic article I referenced earlier, variations of these pieces will come out for days, weeks, and years to come. However, you should all know that if Arsenal had gone on to lose this title, those very same points that are being used to praise them would probably be flipped around and used to highlight that Arteta is performative, or why his beliefs and tactics will never amount to anything substantial.
Edison invented the light bulb. I want to see a team that is connected with each other and that shines.
This is still an objectively funny clip, but man, it worked. Clearly. So let's switch over to Man City for a second here. I'm sure this video is already full of contradictions of facts and sentiment. I'm well aware. But here's another. When City beat Arsenal to put the fate of the title back in their hands, as I said, I thought that it was a wrap from there on, purely based on history and reputation. But watching City play In the games since that Arsenal win, I can't really recall any characteristics that I would link with this City team and those City teams in the past that would have won this title. The two games that essentially sealed the title, Bournemouth and Everton draws, showed a City side that were desperate. Pass to Jeremy Doku and hope for the best. Ryan Cherky over here trying to do hero ball and win the games by himself. Erling Haaland, I guess on an island by himself in the opposition's half filming a YouTube video. They didn't.
That nigga Holland just sit in the box. That nigga a poacher. Like that nigga just sit in the box. And if they can't, that's why they I know them niggas miss Kevin De Bruyne mad. Like Kevin De Bruyne used to pass right in the box, get that nigga Erling Haaland an easy tap and
once or needed as badly as Arsenal did. And it showed. And I think we all should have maybe expected that there wasn't all that much fight in them during the run-in. Rumors of Guardiola calling it quits have been around for years, but they were really picking up steam around when that Enzo Maresca news came out that he was interviewing for the potential vacancy. They then grew even louder and louder as we approached the end of the year. And of course, it was also coupled with news.
What Pep about to coach out a national team, right? I seen some shit like that. Where he Italy, I think. I don't know. Oh, you just want to take a break?
That a lot of really important players with long-term contracts could be leaving, like Josko Vardio, who apparently is on the way out. All of this is speculative. The prospect of Guardiola leaving was a galvanizing force that brought the best out of them one more time. Evidently,